Hello there, how are you? I'm Helen Sadler, your Destiny Helper, coming to you once again, thanking you first of all for those of you who subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you so very much. And for our new subscribers, thank you for subscribing and taking interest in the things that I'm bringing and presenting to you. And thank you for liking and sharing this page. It means so much. Those of you who have not subscribed, take an opportunity right now and subscribe to this channel. It will literally be a blessing to you or someone that you know. I would greatly appreciate it. And I hope this new year is working for you, starting off in an awesome way of learning, understanding, growing, and becoming more beautiful of who you are. And so we did a live, and on the live, we talked about the paranoid narcissist. And many of you joined with me, but after the live, I got so many emails, so many comments saying, look, can we take this another step further? I want to know more about it because I'm dealing with this. Many of you that are dealing with the paranoid narcissist, it seemed like an endless battle. It's a constant frustration, a constant agitation, irritation, and it can be even frightening. And it seemed like there's no relief, no help in sight. And so the paranoid narcissist is always under suspicion, always thinking that someone is out to get them, to hurt them. They don't trust anyone. And you notice as time go by, the trust issue is really deteriorated, and they're always looking out of the window, or they no longer trust the food you cook, or if you bring them something to eat, or you're talking on the phone. They're always with always suspicious and very accusatory when you're talking on the phone. For some reason, they downside the conversation to them, that they are at the topic of your conversation. Or if you're putting something in the refrigerator, they think you're hiding something. You got something in the food, you have something in the drink, and they're always hearing something. They're hearing auditory things on another level, another frequency that you are not hearing. And when they come in from work, it starts, they're pacing, they cannot sleep, they're staying up for days at a time, and you're agitated because if they stay up, you're staying up with the narcissist, and the narcissist is accusing you of conspiring against them, and you are saying that you're not conspiring against them, even to the point where you have deleted phone calls just to try to prove that you can be trusted. And what the narcissist does, they still don't trust you, and the narcissists are always looking out the window, going outside. The narcissist is always walking through the house, looking in the closet. The narcissist looking under the bed, and you're asking what they're looking for, and they're looking at you like you know what I'm looking for, and you don't understand what they're saying. And it can be even dangerous because paranoia can be very apprehensible and focused target. And what do I mean by that? Whatever is the first level of attention becomes their focus, and whatever becomes their focus, it becomes their target, because whatever that focused target is, they think that target is out to get them, whether it's you, if you're the front line target, or if you're the secondary target, whatever is the first line target, because sometimes they think the front line target may be outside, so they're constantly going outside, and they think that it may, whatever the front line target is, maybe trying to sneak in the house, so that front line target gets the attention. And then if you don't agree with the narcissist, now you become from the secondary target to the front line target. Now you're the focus of attention. And so sometimes to divert that attention, you want to divert it back outside. You want to make sure you keep that focus away from you, because the narcissist, based on the type of narcissist it is, it can be quite dangerous. It's a malignant narcissist, or if the narcissist can be an overt narcissist, it can be very physical, very malicious, very violent, and because it's a spur of the moment action, and next thing you know, things are set off physically, and the narcissist is thinking that you're trying to hurt them, and you're trying to convince the narcissist, because you know if you don't convince the narcissist that you're not targeting them and you're not trying to hurt them, that there's going to be an incident. The police will be at your house or you will be escaping your house, and you want to protect the children, because everything that becomes a frontline target, it doesn't matter the size. The narcissist is not looking at size. They're looking at threat zones. And the threat zone, if they think is the children, then that child become a frontline initial target, and that becomes the focus. And so what you want to do is divert that focus, and you want that frontline focus, especially if they're targeted children, to become a secondary target, so you can get room for that target to get out of view of that narcissist mind. And what the narcissist does is they're very, 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 very apprehensive about everything. They're apprehensive about the things you say. And they think if you say something, you have an ulterior motive. And then when you go to bed, the narcissists think you're trying to set them up. And so when you are lacking sleeping because you have to take care of the children, you have a business, you have to take care of work, then it can be very difficult, because you're talking about days upon days without any sleep, without any rest. When the narcissist does not rest, nobody in the house rests. And they are very loud. They're very boisterous. The narcissist gets in the car and he drives off. And then you're concerned about the narcissist because they're not in the state of mind to be behind a wheel. And so when the narcissists come back, the narcissist is then inquiring, what did you do? What did you do while I was gone? Who did you talk to? Why was the door open? You said the door wasn't open. I know it was open. And the narcissist doesn't remember they had to put the key in the door and open the door, because in the narcissist's mind, a lot of frequencies are going on, a lot of auditory noise is going on, a lot of background noise that only the narcissist hears. And because the narcissist is already self-absorbed, they're even more absorbed in whatever that's in their mind. In their mind, that's their world, that's their reality. And you try to talk to the narcissist about getting help. The narcissist does not see where they need help. The narcissist see where you need help. And so the narcissist tell you, I don't need anything. And so as you begin to become more suggestive to the narcissist about getting some assistance for the things that they see, then the narcissist now have moved you from a secondary target to a frontline target. And the frontline target is the highest threat zone. And so you are now entering the highest threat zone, which is going to put you in an endangerment. And if you're in danger as long as the narcissist is in the house. And you will notice the narcissist is calling you, asking you, what are you doing? And you may be at work and you tell him, I'm at work. And he say, well, I don't think you at work. I thought I heard you at the house. And you're saying, I'm not at the house. Mom is at the house with the children, or the babysitter is at the house with the children. Nobody's at the house with the children. And what the narcissist does, he will leave work and go and check the house to make sure the house is clear. And then it'll look like you've been there. The narcissist, you knew I was coming. And so all of these accusations leave you speechless. It leave you without answers, leave you without any resolution, because no matter what you do, everything is a threat to a narcissist that's dealing with paranoia, because their reality is different from your reality. Their hearing is different from your hearing, and their seeing is different from your seeing. And even when you're looking at them, it's always suggestive. And you notice they're constantly going to the blinds, looking out the blinds, looking out the curtain, going to the bathroom, listening. And they stop in the middle of the floor and they're listening for whatever it is that they're supposed to be hearing in the middle of the floor. And when you stop because you are listening, they're asking what you are listening for. And they say, are you behind this? Are you behind this conspiracy? Somebody is trying to get in the house. Somebody's trying to get in the car, or somebody's been in my bank account. And none of that is true. And you are trying to verify information. Look, it can be very dangerous. If the narcissist doesn't seek help, you cannot assist the narcissist that is already self-absorbed, especially if the narcissist is over narcissist, they are malignant narcissists, and then sometimes you may have some psychopathic narcissists where they don't have that sensitivity, they don't have empathy, and they don't have regret. And it's easy for them to hurt. The most of the time they're thinking about hurt. So you got a psychopathic paranoid narcissist, which can be very dangerous. Know what you're dealing with and don't deny the circumstances. Deal with the circumstances. When you know that you're dealing with a narcissist that is very dangerous, make wise choices for you and the children, because you're not going to change the narcissist. And when the narcissists tell you, I'm trying to protect you because I'm trying to keep people from breaking in the house, there's nobody in the house. You stay in a very reputable neighborhood. The neighborhood is a beautiful neighborhood. The neighbors are nice and nothing is happening. But the narcissist got all of this catastrophe going on in their mind. And you are a bundle of nerves. You no longer digest your food. Your stomach is upset. And sometimes that cortisol, your stomach is bigger than it normally is. You're dealing with malicious, severe headaches. You're dealing with a lack of sleep, insomnia. You cannot sleep because you never know what's going to pop off. You wake up and the narcissist is standing over you, or the narcissist is in the yard, or the narcissist is already out the door, and you wake up and they're not there. So you are having problems sleeping because in your subconscious, you are trying to think what the narcissist is doing, and you're trying to counteract what they're doing for the safety of the family. You're going to wear yourself out. You're going to tire yourself out. You're going to delete every ounce of peace that you have. And your peace is just below God. You need peace. And so when you don't have peace, it starts to weigh in on you physiologically. It starts to weigh in on your emotions. It starts to weigh in on your dream. It starts to affect you on your job. It starts to affect you on your business. It starts to affect you with your children. You drop pen on the carpet, you're jumping. Your nervous system is totally off. Your psychic is totally off. And the headaches are so now severe until you having blurred vision because you're trying to think in anticipatory of what is going to happen next. And the narcissists keep you going because they're pacing. And they already don't need a lot of sleep. And if you add a lack of sleep on top of not needing a lot of sleep, and they're up for days going upstairs, downstairs, upstairs, downstairs, down the hallway, up the hallway, out the door, in the door, and then they looking in the refrigerator. And you will notice that some narcissists, when the paranoia get more extreme, their hygiene start to suffer. They don't want to bathe. They don't see the need to bathe. So the narcissists go to bed, get up out of the bed, and just go to work. And they do this for days at a time until you try to convince them that, honey, you need to take a bath. You need to take care of yourself because the smell is horrific. But they are so caught up in their sensories of people trying to hurt them or them trying to protect what they say is the family. But it's really their own mind and the illusions that are going on in their own mind until they don't care about anything. They don't smell themselves. And then after not having good hygiene, you'll notice the narcissist now is having problems eating. They can go days without eating. They just don't eat. They're so occupied with what is happening outside, what is happening in the house. And they'll tell you, I heard somebody in the house. I heard somebody run up the steps. I heard somebody walking down the hallway. And you don't hear anything. And then here come the child down the hallway. And you are very concerned because remember that frontline initial target becomes the focus of that narcissist. And that frontline initial targets can get abused, hurt, or it can even be a fatal situation if that is the focus of the narcissist. So you want to divert that attention to a secondary element. Why the you cause the focus, like your children, another family member, to escape away from the focus of the narcissist. And it's very, 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 very difficult because the narcissist doesn't see where they need help. They don't seek help. They see where you need help. And so you don't have the means to leave at the time because it's taking everything you have. And usually when the narcissists get into paranoia, they get into paranoia and you notice irresponsibility go along sometime with this paranoia. They start to do things and act in ways that they wasn't. They could have been very frugal at first, and now they're no longer frugal. They're spending, they're consumers. Why? Because they feel like they need things. They may have an obsession with guns. They may have an obsession with knives. They didn't have that at first, but now because they feel so threatened, they're obsessed with whatever equipment they need to feel like they need to protect themselves. So whether that's a knife, whether there's a gun, or whether there's different varieties of guns, and they start collecting. Well, that it can be dangerous because remember, the front line or the first line of attention is the first line of threat. And that threat mode can be very severe in the mind of the narcissist, to the narcissist. And if the narcissist believe that you are trying to hurt them or someone is trying to hurt them, that may be a family member, the narcissist will get an item and try to protect themselves. You got to remember they're living in an alternate reality. So them getting a gun, to them is not murder. To them is defense. They're protecting themselves because in their reality, the threat zone is at a height where it is requiring some kind of action. If you feel this, if this is happening, you may have to make some very conscientious decisions of protecting you and the family. And whatever that highest level of protection is, you're going to have to correlate to that decision to make sure that you protect your family and that you protect yourself. And then when the narcissist sees, it's not something that you tell the narcissist. Do I tell the narcissist that I feel threatened and that I'm going to leave? Absolutely. Absolutely not. If you're dealing with a narcissist that is dealing with paranoia, because the narcissist that's dealing with paranoia, remember, will always have a first line of defense and a first line threat zone. And that first line threat zone is the highest level of focus. And that first level of focus is what's going to get their attention. And so if you find it necessary to protect yourself and it's a life-saving measure and that you need to institute on the behalf of you and the children, then you have to be very discretionary when you do that. If you can, look for a support group. If you can, talk to your family. Make sure they're not flying monkeys where they go back and tell the narcissist, because second-handed information to a frontline threat is very, very serious, and it can be fatal if the narcissist perceive you as trying to come against them or to trying to sneak out from them because they think you part of the conspiracy. So make sure that when you know that a line of defense is necessary for you and the children, and it is immediate in order for have a life-saving measure, then you have to use a lot of wisdom. And to do that, you have to plan it out. And you may want to plan it out while the narcissist is at work. And you got to remember, narcissists can become stalkers. And if you are a frontline threat and the narcissist is perceiving you're not coming back, oh, that's going to set them off horrifically. And they'll say, see, I knew you was part of this. I knew you was trying to hurt me. I knew it all along, but I'm not going to let you hurt me. And I'm not going to let you hurt my family. Well, he putting the family in there, but the family is not being threatened. You are not a threat zone. But in the mind of that narcissist, the highest level of threat has now challenged them. And the narcissist want to come to the forefront, being totally consumed with paranoia, because now being paranoid has taken over the narcissist's mind. It's taken over his ideas. It's all in his imagination. It's what he think about all day. It's what he think about every day. And he think about every threat that he need to get rid of the threat. And it doesn't matter what that take. That narcissist is going to make sure that that threat zone is taken care of. So if you know that you need to be in a life-saving measure for you and your family, please be discreet. And it may need to be inconspicuous that you are making your moves, because the highest level of threat is the number one focus attention of the narcissist. And you know what you deal with on the daily basis. You know, no matter what you do, they don't hear you. They don't hear your sound. Your frequency is too low. And so that low frequency in their ear in the forms of words is not formulating to what they consider as a frontline threat. So when you're dealing with that paranoid narcissist and you wondering what happened, and what happened is the paranoia was there, but maybe the narcissist was on meds and they got off meds. That's very dangerous. And maybe they didn't tell you they were on meds. And then you found out in the relationship they was taking meds. Okay, on the meds they were fine and you didn't mind that, but now they're off meds. And when they're off meth, that threat level has went to a heighten. Their sense of reasoning is off. Their reality is challenged. They are operating in the world all day where their reality is challenged. They're behind the wheel. They're working, and they're able to go into a job and maintain this job. And you're wondering, how can you maintain a job and you can't come home and keep this reality straight? And so what happened is that begins to wear and tear on your psyche until now you are having problems with your memory. You're having problems with what's real and not real because you know that it's not a reality. And then you start challenging yourself. Am I missing something? Is there something out there? Is someone out there? You can't agree with him because if you agree with him, you're going to have to agree with him or her at every level. And if something come into their mind, that thought that come in their mind, they don't challenge it. They don't see if that thought is a thought of reasoning or if it's correct. They jump to the idea. They're ready to carry out the idea without thinking the thing through. And this is an adult, but they are not making adult decision. They're making very immature decision. And any voice against the voice of their reasoning, against the voice of their sense of reality, against the voice of their soundness, they would challenge that. And that is a threat. And now they're coming up with these ideas, and you almost cannot believe what you're going through. And now it seems like the situation is getting worse. They're not taking their medicines like they should. And narcissists are already dealing with NPD. And when you add all of these other adjectives onto what they're already dealing with, it can be quite captivating. It can be quite paralyzing to the point where you actually need help. If you need help, there is help for you. I want you to write me, and I can give you some numbers that would assist you in getting you some help. You can write me at destinyhelper12s@gmail.com. destinyhelper12s@gmail.com. You can't always be very suggestive of the narcissist getting help, but you can get the help you need. You can get the help for you and the children. And you may not be able to maintain your current residence in order to get the help you need, especially if the threat zone go to a height where you need to secure other means for the safety of you and your family. Don't be afraid to make the tough choices because you may have to. Because if the choice is made for you, that can be fatal or it can be very, very nerve-wracking, abusive, or crippling. You have to make the decision. You got to remember the narcissists, though you love them, that are dealing with paranoia, has a world that is totally different from your world. The frequency of sound in which they hear it is different from the frequency in which you hear it. And no matter how you negotiate, you will never negotiate logic to a person who's dealing with paranoia because they're on a total frequency altogether. So your words that channel into what they hear will be not what they hear. And it's not what you mean. So for the safety of you and the children, go to the highest level of safety. Be very discreet. Use wisdom. If you can get a support group, get a support group. And if you can, listen to these videos. They will help you. They will strengthen you, especially those of you who feel like I've been here too long. I'm a nervous wreck. And everything is just indecisive to you. You're not sure of anything anymore. Listen to these videos. Get you a therapist. There are trauma therapists that can assist you. Get you a therapist. And like I said, if you write me, I will send you some information where you can choose from a good therapist and those who are well versed in NPD. So the number that I give you, you have to decide. You have to interview those therapists and see, do they have what you need and that can cater to you and your children. And these therapists can be available for you. If you have any type of insurance, you and the therapist can work that out. And so you make sure that you go to the highest means of safety as they go to the highest level of threat. You have to equivalent that safety level with the threat level. And for you and the children, Don't be afraid to make the decisions, and know that you're not alone. You have a group of people that are here to help you, to assist you. And sometimes the only way to a safety zone is out of the zone. I am Helen Sadler, your destiny helper. And I know this was a pretty touchy subject, and really I've just scathed the top. But I want to give you that information based on the emails that I was getting and the comments that you were making to assist you through this turbulence and to assist you through walking this thing out, especially when you have family. And most of you that are dealing with this, you have small children and you don't know what to do, but you have to do something. Decisions have to be made, and you are well able to make that decision. You're well competent to make that decision, and you need to make that decision while you can make that decision. Don't be afraid to talk to someone. Don't be afraid to let them know what you're going through it. Don't try to do this alone. Don't try to fight it alone. The narcissist with the issues of paranoia is greater than what you can deal with. And there's nothing wrong with getting help. It doesn't mean that you're weak. It means that you're very wise and you're very considerate of all the things that you have to be concerned with, like your children, your family, your mind, your health. And I think you're making a wise decision when you make a serious decision for your safety. And so feel free to write me, destinyhelper12s at gmail.com. Destinyhelper12s at gmail.com. And remember, if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, take this time now and subscribe and push that bell. Every time I come on, you will be alerted. When I come on live, you will be alerted, or when I've uploaded content, you will be alerted. And I'm telling you, the content you need come across these videos. Also, I do recommend Cluster B Free Karen Smith. I recommend Telsha Edinburgh, and also Overcoming Narcissist Abuse with Dr. Carmen Bryan. There are many people here that I help you. Dr. Romani is here to help you. A lot of other people. I'm telling you, you are not by yourself. Don't feel that you are. And feel free to write me, and make sure you subscribe and know that you are cared for diligently and completely. I'm Helen Sadler. I'm your destiny helper. Let's see each other on the next video. God bless.